So I would say the biggest takeaway so far with Coach Nick just really encouraging us to, stop and breathe, right? And really take our time, but also execution is key. And so while we have been executing and moving on all the strategies that he has recommended, I have literally got my clients so far. We haven't even launched yet. So I have 2 clients already on board. And so it's all from the education, from the, just everything that Coach Nick has been pouring into us, saying that, hey, you just got to get started. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you just got to get started. And as we have did such as interviews, the clients have come. So our work works. We just have to move forward. And so that's one of the biggest takeaways is like, don't stop, don't get in your head, just keep moving forward.
I just finished the VIP launch weekend. To share with you. I am so pumped. We were motivated, we were nurtured, we learned so much. We had an amazing experience in the studio, and I am just so ready to go and get my webinar out there and crank open my dreams and desires to share my stuff with the world. Coach Nick and his staff are just over the top amazing. Oh, I feel so blessed.
Hey, hi, how you doing? I just got finished doing the VIP launch weekend. Let me tell you, you are in such great hands with Coach Nick. He will make sure that you get all of your content done, all of your stuff ready for your webinar. I just was able to sit on the sidelines and watch, and it was so exciting to see everyone get everything done that we did through the boot camp, through the mastermind class. So listen, if you're looking to do a webinar, Coach Nick is along trying to tell you he's going to make sure you get it done and get it right. I told you, Carol Wilson.
I just appreciate this. I wish I had found you before I put all my money into a big program, to be honest.
I'll also add, like, I really, really appreciate you so much. Like, this is such a great group. And it's just, I love that it's small. I love that we get so much attention, and it's just so much better than the other bigger programs. I feel like, as much as I feel overwhelmed and I'm all over the place trying to do all of it, I feel so supported, and it's like the first time I don't feel alone. So I really want to say from my heart, thank you so much.
Let's go. That makes me smile.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's a good space, a good safe space to be vulnerable within your business and to actually like receive a lot of value as I've been, talking to you over the years, and me, you working through or helping me work through my stubbornness. Like this program is really good, and I'm happy that I am back.
Hey, I'm Cher Therese. I'm an author. I write Wanderlust romance, and I would have left it at that. I would have probably tried to describe what Wanderlust romance is, Black romance about women who travel around the world and, the men who chase them. But since we started working together, that's kind of changed a little bit, and it's still changing. So I'm Cher Therese. I'm an author. I write Wanderlust romance, and this story is about perfectly imperfect women and the men who chase them around the world. And I also am now a major part of the travel community, the luxury travel community, and we're building a brand to just get women, perfectly imperfect women, booked.
What was going on in the business? And what made you say, you know what? I want to work with Nick and his team?
So a couple of things happened, even before the VIP day. I think the first time I got on the phone with you, you kind of listened to what I was thinking I needed about this. And I was like, you are articulating everything I've been struggling to articulate, not because it wasn't there or I didn't think it was possible. I just didn't think I could do it as a one-man show. We kind of created this hook where my books are the offer. The front end, hey, I'm an author, check this book out. As a matter of fact, one of the first creative things we did together was come up with a creative dramatic narration of the first chapter of the first or the book that I was about to release. And what that actually did was got people to buy in. And then on the back end, they became a part of my contact list, if you will. So I went from an 800 member email list to now I have over 3,000 people on the list. And of those 3,000 people on the list, we built even more back-end offers. We're bringing people through this free online webinar, and people are excited about this free information about how a wanderlust author like me travels the world in luxury to write her books, sometimes for less than $500.
And then we kind of transitioned into this whole travel world, and all we did was just continue to serve your audience and their interests. Talk to us, the people like to hear about revenue journey.
So real moment of honesty, the whole term of broke artist is a real thing. Revenue wise, I wrote my first book published in 2021. So between 2021 and mid 2024, I probably had made $8,000 total in revenue for all books. 2025 first quarter. In one quarter, I have made more than I have made in the last 3 years on my books. So hopefully that describes it. I think it's 4X.
Say has been the biggest aha or your big win since working with us?
Webinars actually work. Having a training or a not necessarily a consulting offer, but having a course that people truly want information and that you actually give value actually works to generate revenue.
That's what I'm doing. Now just think, and I've had to ask myself this question, where would I be if I had listened to Coach Nick and not been resistant, if I had listened to him in the first place? That aside, I am so excited that not him, he had it all the time. See, he had the ability to read me, to know exactly what I needed. He had it. I didn't have it. So I am grateful that he helped me get clarity on what I was doing, on what my purpose is, and by working with him, he has given me the confidence to step fully into my power. I'm just saying, you need a business coach? He's the one. Ability to see what, for all my smarts, I just didn't see. He had the ability to lay it out in a way that made sense. It's like a step-by-step process. That's what it is, a template.
So when you launched, talk about your results of when you launched. How much did you make? How long did it take you to make it? And all the things.
In transparency, before I launched, I was making a couple hundred here, a couple hundred there. But when I launched, I made $7,000 in 2 weeks. So
Denise, the masterpiece, the goddess of love and motivation. I am a celebrity blogger. I have more than 500,000 followers. I'm close to growing to 1 million followers on social media. And then I came across Nick. I got in Nick's mastermind, and it's like all of a sudden I got excited again. I got reinvigorated, and I got to know myself a little more. As soon as I got into this mastermind, I went to a 10K month. Well, it was really a 10K week, but we're going to say a 10K month. And then the next month, getting more confidence on how to pitch my offer, how to reframe my strategy and my messaging. I literally had a 10K day. And let me tell you how good Nick is. In this 10K day, it was really a 10K like 3 hours. Like it was really like, like that.
We launched my business. I had an $8,000 launch.
Since our launch, we have made 8 to 10K.
I was able to not only launch I Am Rochelle Cooper, also I was able to leave my full-time job.
But I'm actually contracting employees.
Nick has helped us. We are now vacationing.
I made my first 5K launch.
I would say don't hesitate. Like the program is awesome. Trust Coach Nick's process.
Wherever you are, wherever you're watching this video, please do well to subscribe and join this coaching section. You want to launch your business, you want to take your business to the next level, you've been struggling with that big idea that you want to launch, you can actually start up something for yourself.
So trust the process, take the course.
If you just trust it, like, you know what I mean, just trust it and actually go through the steps. But if you follow the process and take like each step at a time and do the assignments, like, you definitely gonna see the results. And the biggest thing
we just finished a one-on-one session. Randy, just tell the people a little bit how you feel, what we accomplished.
All right, so at this point, well, before the call, I was definitely in limbo. I explained that to Coach Nick, and in just 30 minutes, I got clarity. I have direction. Like, the fog is clearing up, and I'm almost able to see this light at the end of the road in 30 minutes.
How excited are you for your new journey?
I'm too excited. I am too excited. And I just, like I told you, I just want to save these women. I just want to help these women. I just, like, I'm sorry. I know it's being recorded.
It's all good. It's all good.
Man, and you just cleared that up. And you let me know what I'm really here for, why I'm still here, and why I'm overcoming the way I am. And thank you, Coach Nick.
Of course, you will help these women get their life back. So let's go do it. It's time to put our money where our mouth is. So yeah. Let's work.
Let's get him. Let's
all
get
right.
him.
What is going on? What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Let me see if I can spread my screen. Is this right? Oh, no. Give me 1 second. Technical difficulties. Okay. All right. And then let me add me back. Here we go. All right. I don't know why it's looking like that, but what's up, everybody? What's going on, CEOs? Welcome to the How to Sell More with Webinars Q&A. So for those of you who attended one of our challenges, How to Sell More with Webinars, wasn't it fire? It was so fire that I decided to do Q&A and answer your questions. We got a lot of questions after the challenge, and I want to take a moment. I want to take some time and answer that. But for those of you who don't know me, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to sell more of your products and services using webinars and presentations. So whether you are a coach, a consultant, oh man, what is going on? Whether you are a coach or a consultant, whether you sell e-commerce or product-based businesses, let me know in the comments what you do so that I know how to curate some of the things we're going to talk about tonight. Tonight is straight Q&A. So we sent out a message to our list and to some of the attendees to get questions that you have had about selling more of your products and services towards webinars. So I'm going to answer pre-submitted questions first. And then after pre-submitted questions, I would like for you all to drop your questions in the chat about how to sell more of your products and services using webinars. And then I will bring those up and answer those next. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nicholas Marquis, Coach Nick, and I am a business coach and consultant who helps entrepreneurs launch, grow, and scale their ideas into profitable businesses, six-figure businesses, seven-figure businesses. Some of our clients just hit this year. And the primary way that we do that, the method in which we do that is primarily through events. And really, virtual events is the top priority. How many of you have attended a webinar in the last 30 days? Drop it in the comments. If you're watching the replay, drop it in the comments. We see these people on social media promoting their webinars or their free training, and we see them making sales and growing their business. And so everyone has been a part of a sales presentation at one point in time, right? So one of the examples I talk about in the challenge is that I remember going to Cancun for the first time, and this dude walked up to me and was like, "Hey, we're giving free breakfast. All you have to do is stay for a presentation, enjoy breakfast, and whether you say yes or no, it's all good for you." Well, when I went to that breakfast and saw the amazing property, and they kept me 4 hours in the presentation, I had just attended a sales presentation. And so, really, if you look at it, I am a believer that every business needs a sales presentation. If you are not doing webinars, if you are not hosting events to generate traffic, you are behind the ball. And in this video, I hope to get you up to speed. What's up, Cheryl? Cheryl said, I'm in direct sales. How do I reach customers and recruit a team? Okay, great. I'm going to answer those questions after I answer the pre-submitted questions, and we'll jump in. But what I want you to do is put your questions in the comments, because after I answer the pre-submitted questions, I'm moving to these live questions. Okay. So before I was in business coaching, I started this business back in 2020. Back in 2012, right? I can't even believe it's been that long. I started my first business in event planning. And while I enjoyed working with these big companies like Coca-Cola and BET and Delta Airlines, these big Fortune 500 companies, they had one thing in common. They all held events or meetings that helped and that served as the vehicle to sell their products and services. So what I love to do is to bring that strategy back to my small business owners and teach them how to do the same thing. And so I have built a multiple six-figure business leveraging events. I have helped my clients build multiple six-figure and seven-figure businesses leveraging events. And now I'm about to do the same. And that's all a webinar is an event. So if y'all are ready to jump into these questions, y'all got me. And actually, we have a couple of clients launching next week, and I literally have to get off of this live to jump into a planning meeting. So let's jump in, because I want to peel back the onion. I want to answer all the questions I can. So let's jump in to our pre-submitted questions. So Jessica M is a health coach. Hi, Coach Nick. I'm a health coach. I'm a health and wellness coach, helping busy moms lose weight. I've been doing Instagram lives, but they don't convert well. Should I shift to webinars? And if so, how do I make the transition? Yeah, you should totally shift to webinars. I mean, I wouldn't say you shouldn't shift to webinars. You're doing a webinar, right? There's 3 components to a webinar that makes it effective. Number 1, do you have the right people in the room, right? So do we have the right people watching, whether you're on Instagram Live or YouTube or on Zoom or doing your webinar on some other platform? Do you have the right people in the room? And the right people in the room are people who can pay a premium, that you enjoy working with, and that has a sense of urgency about what it is that you have to offer, right? So do you have the right people in the room? 2, are you saying the right thing? Are you presenting your content in a way that transforms and not just informs? I remember when I did my first webinar, and it was called Level Up. Right, Level Up. And the content was the 5 components of a business. Now, I'm a business geek, a business nerd. So for me, I was like, yeah, this is legit, right? Like I can get with this. Like I love the information. But the problem is, and the reason I didn't make any sales on that webinar is because it was heavy information and not heavy in transformation, right? All right. So again, Jessica asked, do I need to shift from doing Instagram lives to doing webinars? You need 3 things to make your webinars effective. 1, the right people in the room. 2, say the right thing. And then 3, make the right offer, right? And everything starts from your offer. So can you do webinars on Instagram? Sure. You could do it on TikTok. You can do it on any platform, but you got to follow a specific framework if you want it to convert, right? So, Jessica, all in all, I say stick with the Instagram. And you can also, another thing you can do is use your Instagram lives, because you want to capture their information. So you can use their Instagram live to promote your private training or your paid webinar or your signature webinar, and then push people there so you can collect their name, phone number, and email, right? All right, y'all. That was Jessica. All right, Marcus T. Marcus T is a fitness trainer, and I run a small fitness studio and want to attract more clients online. How do I pick a webinar topic that gets people excited enough to show up? Oh, that's a good question. How do I pick a topic that gets people excited enough to show up? So one of the things we talked about in the challenge is the attract, convict, and convert formula. So before you pick a webinar topic, before you figure out what you're going to like put in the webinar and the content, and before you even create your offer, do you want to know what you need to do first? Is you need to survey the market. You need to research the market. You need to understand what your clients want, what they need, what roadblocks do they think they have in place or that's blocking them from getting to the result? What result do they want? What challenges are they having? And then from there, we build everything else. So based on their pain points, their desires, and what they say that they want and need, then we create the offer, then we create the webinar. So for instance, we had one lady in the challenge. She did tutor. She was a tutor. So she did tutoring services. Excuse me. I don't know why that was so hard to say. She does tutoring services. And so one of the things that we identified for her was number one, who is your ideal client, right? So we walked her through the framework. We decided her ideal clients were parents of students in private schools or that invested in extracurricular activities, right? Whose students were failing, right? So once we identified who the ideal client was, what their pain points were, then we created the offer. And I think the offer was something like, private tutoring services, right? Premium tutoring services to help pass not SATs, whatever the test is in that state. And then the webinar was how to get your failing student to pass the, let's just say FCAT, because that's what was in Florida. I don't think they even do that anymore. How to pass the FCAT even if they're failing, right? Or without failing, right? So again, we want to take what the client's ideal client avatars pain points are, what their desires are, create an offer, and then the webinar should describe the offer, but also call out to those pain points and desires, right? All right, let's go, Marcus. All right, Vanessa L. Vanessa L is a financial consultant. I help millennials improve their credit and manage money better. I love y'all got these our help statements. But if you attended the challenge, you should have your I help statement together. I help millennials improve their credit and manage money better. I've been getting people to register for my webinars, but only a small percentage actually show up. What is the best way to boost my show up rates? Oh, that's a good question. So we have a specific sequence, and I'd love to know if you're on what your sequence is. We have a specific sequence that that's been getting our clients and us anywhere from a 30 to 40% show up rate. And that's good, y'all. So that's top of the industry. Like that's good, right? Anywhere from a 30 to 40% show up rate. We've seen some clients get consistently 50 to 60% show up rates. So there's a couple of different factors at play. Number one, you need a reminder sequence, right? You need a reminder sequence to get people to build the hype around why they should attend, but also to get y'all. We have the attention span of a goldfish. I don't know if y'all heard that, but we have the attention span of a goldfish. People need reminders, right? Most of you who are watching this live or will watch this live probably got a reminder from us. And so you need a reminder sequence. Number two, you need to make sure that you pick the right time of day and the right day. So while if you serve entrepreneurs, true entrepreneurs and business owners who run their own businesses, they may be better to do a daytime event during lunchtime, right? If you serve corporate professionals, same thing. They may be able to do a lunch and learn like on their lunch break. But if you serve people who work a 9 to 5 and they're trying to build their business, maybe you need to do during the evening because they are going to be working during the day, right? So time of day is important. Making sure you have a reminder sequence is important. And then another way to get people to show up is to build the value. So we have what's called an indoctrination sequence. And basically, this is a sequence where we build know, like, and trust. You need to know who I am. You need to know who my system is, what my system is and what it does and how we help people, right? So in your just marketing and in your webinar, you have to build 3 beliefs. The belief in you, the expert, that you know what you're talking about and that you're qualified to teach on this topic. The belief in your system that it is the vehicle to get your clients from point A to point B. in the belief in them that they can do it with your help, right? And so you want to start building that from the time that they register all the way up into the time that they purchase, honestly. I mean, until the time that the webinar is, that they come to the webinar and they purchase, right? So those are a few ways that you can get your show up rates up. So I hope that's helpful. All right. Brian S. is a marketing agency owner. I already do presentations for my client or for clients, but when I try to sell on webinars, I feel like I sound too salesy. How can I structure my webinars so it feels natural, but still drive sales? Oh my gosh. This is definitely something that a lot of you wrote on your intake forms or on your registration forms, is how do I sell without being salesy? I think before I get into I'm gonna go mindset and then tactics. Is that okay? I'm gonna go mindset and then tactics. Mindset wise, I think we have to shift our belief. We have to shift our paradigm, shift our way of thinking around sales, right? Here's what I want everyone to say, and I want you to type this in the comments. Selling is serving. Selling is serving. And the more you can get comfortable with that, and the more you can embrace and accept that, the more you can get out of your own way and you will make more sales, right? So sales is also a transference of energy, right? So if you show up timid, if you show up like, I don't want to do this, sales is icky, your prospects are going to feel the same way. The attendees are going to feel the same way. I have a client who, so my one-on-one clients, I'm typically on their webinars, giving them live feedback. And she had mentioned, she might be on here tonight. She had mentioned, or before she went to the pitch, she was like, listen, I have to do this. I hate pitching. I hate selling, but I got to do this. So do y'all mind if I, whatever? And what she actually did was build sales resistance because she had sales resistance. And so she didn't convert the way that she wanted to because you instilled the belief, you transferred that energy. But if we show up in an energy of, I am here to serve, I'm here to serve at a high level, and I am here to provide a premium solution for people who have a problem that they want to solve, then it shifts the energy around that, right? So that's mindset. Let's put a pin in that. Let's talk about tactics. So when you transition to the pitch, there's 4 steps you want to take, right? So the first step is to ask for permission. And here's what that looks like. Listen, if you got value out of this call tonight, drop a 1 in the chat. Ask for permission. I mean, not ask for permission, confirm value. Sorry, that's step 1. Step 1 is confirm value. Sorry, y'all, I'm going off the dome here. Step 1 is confirm the value, right? Did you get value? Did you learn the thing that I said I was going to teach you? Step 2 is to ask for permission. Would you mind if I shared with you ways that we help our clients and people who want to implement what we just taught, how we support them or how we can support you, right? And then step 3 is to extend the invitation. So when we take the word pitch out of it, remember I said we can change the energy around sales. When we take the word pitch away and we just simply look at it as an invitation, then it feels more integral if you're one of those people who feel like sales are salesy, right? So with your invitation, you want to cover the offer, what the offer entails, talk about the benefits, talk about the payoff, a little bit of the features, but you really should have described your process in your content. Then you want to give them a reason to take action now. And that's going to be sales tactics. So can you include urgency? Can you include scarcity? Can you include FOMO by calling people out? Social proof by showing testimonials, handling objections. So those are the ways that you can sell without being salesy. But here's the thing, you have to sell. You have to sell. If you are in business and you are not making sales or you are not profitable, you do not have a business, you have a hobby. I know that probably stepped on some people's toes. If you are not selling in your business, you do not have a business, you have a hobby, right? So you must sell, you must shift your belief around sales, and just get, I mean, selling and serving, right? That's it, selling and serving. All right. David K. I'm not very tech savvy, but I want to start doing webinars to sell my book and coaching program. What's the simplest tech setup I can use without overwhelming myself? Yeah, so we and again, for those of you who are just joining, if you have questions that you want me to answer, drop them in the chat. There's something with StreamYard that you have to approve, so I won't be able to see your questions if you don't click the link or follow the instructions in the description of this video. So make sure you do that so I can see your questions, because I'm coming to live questions next. So yeah, with tech setup, don't overcomplicate it. I used to use like Webinar Jam and all these softwares that broke. And as a matter of fact, when I did my first webinar on one of these softwares, I was in the practice room and all of my attendees were in the regular room. And because I didn't join on time, I could not use that room. And I end up moving from, it was like 20 people who joined to 2 people on the webinar. So keep it simple. We use Zoom for all of our clients. It works. It is what it is. And then we use a system called Autopilot CRM. And you can go check it out and get a free trial at Autopilot CRM. Let me put it on the screen. You can go to join autopilotcrm.com. And you can get a 7-day trial. This is the system that we use for our clients. For our webinars, it includes your funnels, your automations. You can host your courses, communities, everything on Autopilot, right? Join autopilotcrm.com. That's the system that we use. That and Zoom, and you're good to go. All right. Thank you for joining. If you're just joining us, make sure you drop your questions in the chat about how to sell more of your products and services with webinars. Right now, I'm going through the pre-submitted questions, and then I'm jumping over to the live questions. All right, Monique, after I run a webinar, I feel like the value dies once it's over. How can I repurpose my webinar so they continue to generate leads and sales? Do it again. Keep doing it, right? So with our clients, for the live webinar method, and you can do automated webinars, but I recommend you get really good at live because you're going to convert better live. We have them go at least every other week. So twice a month, every other week, do your sales presentation. And here's the great, do y'all want to know the great part about having a signature webinar? You could do the same webinar over and over and over and over again. Do you know why? Because the goal is that every time you do a webinar, you get new people, a new audience on the webinar. I have some people who attend my webinars. Every time I have one, they're on that webinar, right? And they may not convert right now because it may not be the time, but they'll convert later down the line, right? So way to repurpose your webinars is to continue to do the webinars over and over again. You don't have to do different ones. You can do the same one. And then you want to take that. Now we can go to, you can take your webinar content and turn that into a talk. You could turn that into a course. You could turn that into a digital product. Just so many things. A live event. All right. Christopher J is a real estate investor. I help people learn real estate investing. Sometimes people don't buy anything on the webinar, but then I never know how to follow up without being annoying. What's your system for handling this? Yeah, you're not annoying, or you may be annoying. Who cares? You have to follow up, right? You have to follow up. A bulk of the sales are going to be in the follow-up. A bulk of your sales are going to be in the follow-up. And most people, here's the thing that no one tells you about sales, right? Take a sip of water. Here's the thing that most people don't tell you about sales is that most of your sales happen in the follow-up, right? So you'll have some sales on your webinar if you do it right. You got the right people in the room, say the right thing, make the right offer. But there is a good amount of people who are still waiting for you to stay top of mind and for it to be the right time. So again, it goes back to earlier how I said, shift your way of thinking around sales. That's a part of it. Shift your way of thinking around follow-up. What we do is after a webinar, we will send an email sequence or email campaign We'll send a couple text messages. We don't go heavy with the text messages because you don't want people to start unsubscribing. And then we have our system tell us, like, at certain integrals and at certain points in the customer journey, when to call that person or when to follow up with that person, right? So that's one way. Another way you can do follow-up without feeling like it's annoying is host follow-up events. So this Q&A is a follow-up event to my challenge, to my webinar, right? So give people multiple opportunities to experience you, give people multiple opportunities to learn from you and get value from you. And then when the time is right, you're top of mind and they will convert, right? By the way, if you are interested in getting help for getting your webinar system installed in your business in the next 30 to 90 days, so you can generate consistent qualified leads, and so that you can turn those leads into premium sales with your high ticket offer, I'd love to support you and love for you to join our bootcamp. The link is in the description of this video. At the very bottom of the description, you can book a call with me and my team, and we can talk to you more about how we can help you install a webinar selling system in your business in the next 30 to 90 days. All right. All right, 2 more questions. Samantha H is a relationship coach. I'm coming to live questions next. So if you have a question, please put it in the comments. Keep in mind, I won't be able to see your comments unless you follow whatever instruction that StreamYard says you have to follow, right? So drop your questions in the comments and I will answer those next. All right, so Samantha is a relationship coach who helps women get back on the dating scene after divorce. I had an idea of doing virtual speed dating. Would this be a good replacement for a webinar, or should I still do traditional webinars? Speed dating. Samantha, the only problem with that is if you do it that way, the actual activity of the speed dating needs to be strategically placed. And here's why. So I have clients who, they do like things like meditation and all that stuff, and they want to incorporate activities in their webinar, which is fine. But you want to, number one, keep people at the end. So maybe you position the speed dating activity at the end of the webinar, right? If you stay until the end, you get an opportunity to participate. But you still need to follow the framework of the webinar, because there's certain things that has to happen in order for people to feel transformed, and they must feel transformed in order for them to take action. And when they take action, that is when they buy, right? And you need to do that through delivering content that transforms. So I would say you can do a virtual speed dating in place of a webinar, but follow the webinar framework first, have that activity at the end, right? So that you keep people engaged. Or you break the activity up and you break the webinar up, but for your invitation, for your offer, people need to be in the room. So all I can say is test it, but the most important piece is make sure you're delivering the content in the way it needs to be delivered. You're making the offer where people are paying attention and they can take action, and maybe use your virtual speed dating thing or activity as the carrot for them to stay until the end. All right. Cool. All right. Last pre-submitted question, and then I'm coming to live questions. Anthony B, if you had to start all over today with 0 audience, how would you run your very first webinar to get results fast? That is a great question. So when I first started webinars, I thought I had to have this huge audience. I still don't have the biggest audience, right? And that's just not true. This is not true. During the challenge, we teach that there are 3 fast paths to leads, right? And again, for those of you who want help installing this webinar system in your business, click the link at the bottom of the description in this video, book a call with my team so we can get you this training and we can help you with this, right? Help you generate leads for your webinar. But there are 3 fast paths to leads. Path number 1 is events, right? And not just like networking events. Networking events are slow. Not just random events, but events where your ideal client is already hanging out. And at these events, you need to be positioned either as a speaker or as a vendor. Why? Because as a speaker, all the attention's on you. As a vendor, people know you're there to do business and that you have a product or service or you have a solution for people's problem, right? So you are already positioned to hyperspeed the process or bypass the fake networking process to find your ideal clients, right? So path number 1 is events where you're a speaker or vendor. Path number 2 is partnerships. So for those who got VIP, I did a training on how I generated over $11,000 from a webinar with no paid ads or no huge following or no big list. And it was because we partnered with people who had our audience, right? So you want to think what influencers can you partner with? What groups or associations or organizations can you partner with your webinar? And like, where's your audience already hanging out? And how can you partner with the leader of that hangout spot to fill your webinar, right? So path number 1 is events where you're either a speaker or vendor. Path number 2 is partnerships, where you are getting in front of your audience by partnering with a group leader that they're already a part of. And then part number 3, the easiest, honestly, is paid digital advertising. So we're going to pay social media to promote our webinar for us and get people in, and we can target specific groups of people, all right? So I hope that helps. All right, that was all of the pre-submitted questions. I'm going to move over to the live questions now. If you have a question, make sure you follow the direction of StreamYard. I think there may be a link that you have to click so I can see your question. Otherwise, I won't be able to see your question. All right, so Cheryl, hey Cheryl, says, I'm in direct sales. How do I reach customers and recruit a team? Recruit a team. Are you trying to use webinars to reach customers and recruit a team? Let me know, Cheryl. Give me some context in the comments, but I'll do my best to try to decipher what you mean by this. So let's talk about recruiting customers. First of all, I don't know what you sell, but a webinar is a great way to recruit the customers. We need to create educational content or transformational content that speaks to their pain points, speaks to their desires, speaks to what it is that they want to learn about, so that they attend your webinar. We are in the age where people want to learn everything online, right? You can YouTube anything you want to learn. You can Google anything you want to learn. And when you create a webinar, you now become a part of that ecosystem of resources that people can learn from for a specific thing. So you want to position your webinar to sell, to attract more customers or reach more customers as something that they're looking for to solve their problem. And honestly, to recruit a team, it's the same way. So if you've ever been to like an MLM or been a part of an MLM, they leverage their network and they tell you about this great opportunity that you can earn extra income or you can make higher impact, right? Some sort of big takeaway. And then you come to like a presentation, and at that presentation, they make you an offer to join their team, right? So you will do the same thing. So you need to figure out what's the benefit, the value someone will get from being on your team, right? And then the webinar that you create around that needs to be building value to that, right? Needs to be building value to that, why they should be a part of your team and what the big payoff is. It's the same psychology. And then you make an offer for them to join your team. Okay, I see, Cheryl. So I sell skincare, not familiar with webinars. Yep, so you can use it with the skincare products too. Here's the thing with products. So for you product-based businesses, one of the things that I encourage you to do is to create a premium offer. This is something where you can earn more with lower ticket items. So I don't know, what item you're looking to sell, but you would either focus on selling bundles if you're going to customers or subscriptions, right? So you need to sell subscriptions to where you get like a new product every month. So now you move from someone just spending, 10, 12 bucks with you to either doing that every month, or you're selling bundles where, their what is it? Their average cart value is increased, right? Now, if you're trying to recruit a team to sell the skincare products for you, you're going to follow that MLM method, right? So again, what is the benefit? What is the value of someone joining your team to sell skincare products? They want to make extra money on the side, right? They want freedom of time, energy, and money. They want agency over their time, energy, and money. Maybe they want to start a side hustle. And so you're going to create a webinar on how to start a side hustle with zero capital, right? And the value of the webinar is going to be built around why you should sell other people's products. Why you should sell other people's products to generate revenue, and then the offer is for them to become a part of your team. All right. So Cheryl, let me know if that's helpful. Cool. All right. I don't see any other questions. Are there any other questions? Let me know. Any other questions about how to sell your products and services using webinars? Oh, you're welcome, Cheryl. I'm glad that was helpful. Well, cool. Well, listen, I would love, did you get value? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all got value out of tonight. The Q&A. I just taught y'all how to do this. Put a 1 in the chat. I'd love to share with you, for those of you who attended the challenge, you already saw this. But for those of you who didn't, I want to give you an opportunity to join the Webinar Selling System Bootcamp, where we are helping you build this system inside of your business. And so if you sell products or services, if you sell a high ticket offer, or if you want to sell high ticket offers, a premium offer, let me just make sure this is showing. Then this is the perfect opportunity for you. Let me make sure you guys can see my screen. Hold on. All right, so the webinar selling system is a 90-day intensive. Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to make sure you can see my live here, my screen. Let me know in the chat if y'all can see my screen. Okay, you can see it. Great. All right, so the webinar selling system is a 90-day intensive designed to help you build, launch, and automate a high-converting webinar funnel so you can attract qualified leads and generate consistent, repeatable sales without burning out or guessing what to do next. We start with a 30-day sprint. So the dates are wrong here, so don't pay attention to those. We actually start on Tuesday, September 2nd. So this is not for those of you who are dragging feet and you're like, oh, I don't, shoulda, coulda, woulda. This is for those of you who are like, I know I need a sales presentation in my business. I know that I need to generate more sales in my business. I know that I need a system, a marketing plan, and I need help in order to install that. This is for you, right? So we start on Tuesday with a 30-day sprint. So this 30-day sprint, we are going to build out, we're going to show you how to build a premium offer. So we're going to totally transform your offer. We're going to build your content that attracts, convicts, and converts, put together your marketing plan. And then in October, you're going to come here to Atlanta, to my Midtown office for VIP launch weekend. At VIP launch weekend, we're going to create your content. So we have a whole content day with professional videographers and professional photographers. You're going to film your content, create your content. It's an implementation weekend. So we are literally going to be implementing. The goal of that weekend is for you to walk out with the only thing you need is the video edited that the editors are editing after you film it, right? To put on your landing page. Okay, so 30-day sprint, VIP launch weekend. Then you're going to launch your marketing campaign, start to fill your webinar. And then we have what's called run through week, where you actually practice your webinar. I am typically on those to give you live feedback and coaching. And then you're going to execute and optimize. Now, you're going to be trained. So we had questions earlier about like, how do I fill my webinar with the right people? How do I make sure that every week or every other week there's new people on the webinars? So remember the 3 fast paths that I talked about. We teach you about those 3 fast paths. So if you're going to use events where you're speaking or vending, we have trainings for those. If you're going to do partnerships, we have partnership success secrets training. Say that 10 times. And if you're doing the digital ads that sell lab, our Meta certified digital ads expert runs that training, teaching you how to run effective ads. You're also going to get the content that converts workshop. So you're not going to have to guess what to say. We're going to help you formulate and build out your webinar content. Premium offer suite training. So we're going to totally transform your offer so that it is a premium high ticket offer that people will salivate for. You're going to get sales training. Again, you don't want to be salesy. So I'm going to teach you how to sell. I actually show you sales videos, like videos of me on sales calls. So you can see me implementing what it is that I'm teaching you how to do. And then, of course, you got the launch weekend, disregard the date. That's happening in October, where we do implementation and a big content day. So you have nice professional content for your webinar and for your marketing. And then we have so much support. Literally during the 30-day sprint, like every day there's a support call. So you will not go without support, right? So we have weekly tech calls, weekly accountability calls, weekly coaching calls. For the 30-day sprint, we do sprint labs so that we can make sure you're on track. Like private community access, it's just you get unlimited amount of support, right? And then on your first webinar, one of my team members will be on there with you to help you execute. All right. So if you are interested in joining the boot camp, click the link in the description. Scroll all the way to the bottom of the description. There's a link to our calendar where you can book a call with me and or a person from my team to talk about how the Webinar Selling System Bootcamp can help your business. Right. So you get so much support. You get the unlimited leads strategy training suite. You get access to the content that convicts, converts, and attracts. You get access to premium offer suite training, the profit from launch predictable sales strategy. You get to come to Atlanta and actually implement alongside me and my team in person with that content day, and walk away with it done. Like everybody just say, get it done, right? And you get a 360 support system to make this happen. We're going to push you, right? We're going to push you because we know what this can do for people's businesses. It's helped me build a multiple 6-figure business. My client Cher, that I used to work with, she was an author, came to us. It took her 3 years to generate $8,000. In a matter of 3 months, she had generated over $14,000 in recurring revenue. My client, Dr. Sue, who's a life coach, she implemented this system, made $7K in 2 weeks. We've seen this totally transform people's businesses. And I know that it can transform yours. And what I'd love for you to do, if you know that you need this boot camp, you need to be a part of this boot camp, I want you to scroll to the bottom of the description in this video, book a call with me and my team so we can see if Webinar Selling System Bootcamp is right for you. All right. And also when you join, we give you 3 months free of autopilot. So for those of you who were on the call in the earlier part of this call where we talked about systems, autopilot is the only system you need. Autopilot and Zoom are the only 2 systems you need. You get 3 months free when you join the boot camp. You also get to come down here to Atlanta for my Mansion Mastermind, where we help you do annual planning for your business for 2026. And you literally get all the tools, templates, everything. You don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to figure it out. You know, the problem with some entrepreneurs is that we would rather try to figure things out than to pay for the shortcut. Yep. And that keeps us stuck. Imagine if you would have had templates, tools, strategies, someone to help you and to hold you accountable, how much further would you be along than you were 90 days ago? Right? That's all of us. All right. And then also we have custom GPTs to help you implement fast. So we have Sammy the strategist, which helps you with the strategy. We have Chrissy the copywriter, who helps with the copy. So all of your emails, your text messages, and all that stuff, Chrissy helps you with that. And then Stevie the sales coach, that helps you with your sales. You literally can practice your sales call with Stevie. All right. So you're getting all of this, and all you have to do is book a call. Scroll to the bottom of the scroll to the bottom of the description in this video. Book your call with me and my team. Let's see if the webinar selling system is right for you and your business, and get this installed and get it done. I hope that y'all got value out of the call today. I enjoyed answering your questions. And listen, follow me at Nicholas Marquis on all social media. And I hope to see you all in the boot camp that starts next week. If you don't remember anything else, remember this: you deserve to thrive and not just survive. Y'all have a good night.
So I would say the biggest takeaway so far with Coach Nick, just really encouraging us to, stop and breathe, right? And really take our time, but also execution is key. And so while we have been executing and moving on all the strategies that he has recommended, I have literally got my clients so far. We haven't even launched yet. So I have 2 clients already on board. And so it's all from the education, from the, just everything that Coach Nick has been pouring into us, saying that, hey, you just got to get started. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you just got to get started. And as we have did such as interviews, the clients have come. So our work works. We just have to move forward. And so that's one of the biggest takeaways is like, don't stop, don't get in your head, just keep moving forward.
I just finished the VIP launch weekend. To share with you, I am so pumped. We were motivated, we were nurtured, we learned so much, we had an amazing experience in the studio, and I am just so ready to go and get my webinar out there and crank open my dreams and desires to share my stuff with the world. Coach Nick and his staff are just over the top amazing. Oh, I feel so blessed.
Hey, hi, how you doing? I just got finished doing the VIP launch weekend. Let me tell you, you are in such great hands with Coach Nick. He will make sure that you get all of your content done, all of your stuff ready for your webinar. I just was able to sit on the sidelines and watch, and it was so exciting to see everyone get everything done that we did through the boot camp, through the mastermind class. So listen, if you're looking to do a webinar, Coach Nick is along. I'm trying to tell you, he's going to make sure you get it done and get it right. I told you, Carol Wilson.
I just appreciate this. I wish I had found you before I put all my money into a big program, to be honest.
I'll also add, I really, really appreciate you so much. This is such a great group. And it's just, I love that it's small. I love that we get so much attention, and it's just so much better than the other bigger programs. I feel like, as much as I feel overwhelmed and I'm all over the place trying to do all of it, I feel so supported, and it's like the first time I don't feel alone. So I really want to say from my heart, thank you so much.
Let's go. That makes me smile.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's a good space, a good safe space to be vulnerable within your business and to actually receive a lot of value. As I've been, talking to you over the years, and me, you working through or helping me work through my stubbornness. This program is really good, and I'm happy that I am back